The news that everyone was dreading happened. Buckingham Palace has announced that the Queen has died peacefully at Balmoral.
A day that is now etched in history.
Queen Elizabeth II was the rock on which modern Britain was built. Our country has grown and flourished under her reign. Britain is the great country it is today because of her.
Thousands gathered at royal residences to lay flowers and Paddington bears, a nod to Her late Majesty's surprise sketch at her Platinum Jubilee. Immediately, Charles ascended the throne and was formally proclaimed king at the Accession Council in St James's Palace. Politicians, past and present, united in grief despite their party differences.
He'd lost his mother on the Thursday. Here he was on the Saturday morning, standing in front of all of his Privy Councillors. They're his Privy Councillors now.
The King paid tributes to his beloved mother and renewed her pledge of lifelong service.
Hi everyone, thank you so much.
An olive branch from Prince William to his brother Prince Harry, when the siblings reunited to greet the public with their wives and view flowers outside Windsor. Any reconciling was short-lived. The Queen's coffin, accompanied by her daughter Princess Anne, was driven to St Giles Cathedral in Edinburgh to lie at rest. An opportunity for the people of Scotland to pay their last respects to the Queen of the United Kingdom. An RAF C-17 flew Her late Majesty back to London. The state hearse, specially designed for the public to see inside, drove down crowd-lined streets before one final night in Buckingham Palace. A well-rehearsed ceremonial procession brought the Queen to Westminster Hall so the public could pay their last respects as Her late Majesty lay in state.
People would queue for hours on end. They'd finally get in and it would be 5 seconds, 6 seconds, and it just happened so beautifully and so peacefully.
The state gun carriage of the Royal Navy, pulled by 142 Royal Naval ratings, took Queen Elizabeth II's coffin to Westminster Abbey for the state funeral. At the King's request, the wreath on top of the coffin contained flowers from the gardens of Buckingham Palace, Clarence House and Highgrove. The royal family's dignity and stoicism shone through in the face of unimaginable grief. Princess Charlotte's choice of brooch, in the shape of a horseshoe, was gifted by her great-grandmother, the Queen. She, alongside her future king brother George, processed behind the coffin with their parents, the Prince and Princess of Wales. The state hearse to Windsor Castle for the committal service. More than 800 people, including the Queen's personal staff, filled St George's Chapel, in stark contrast to Prince Philip's funeral, where just 30 people could attend because of COVID restrictions. The imperial state crown, the orb and the sceptre were removed from the coffin and placed on the high altar. The King then placed the Queen's camp colour of the Grenadier Guards on the coffin. The wand broken, creating the symmetry with the 3 instruments of state being removed, ready to be passed on to their successor. The Queen was buried with her late husband Prince Philip in a private service in the King George VI Memorial Chapel. Back together for eternity. Cameron Walker, GB News.